Hi Stampers, this is Dawn from DawnStampingThoughts.net, and you might remember this card from last week. We made this birthday card, the label flap gatefold card. And now we're going to take it up a notch, as my husband would say. We're going to add an extra flap right here, and then it opens up. This is actually a sympathy card that I made for my friend Pam. Her dad had passed away, so I made this card for her. So we're going to make a get well card using crisp cantaloupe. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I have the Simply Scored, and you're going to need a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock. I'm using the crisp cantaloupe, and we're going to score at 2, 4, 8, and 10. Then you're going to turn it, and you're going to score this at 4 and 8. Okay, so now we're just going to go ahead and fold all the score lines really quick. Okay, so now we're going to start cutting. Grab my scissors here. Okay, so we're going to cut the 4 outside squares, remove those, and then you're going to see the 2 panels here on either side. You're just going to cut the one on the outside edge. Remove that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so we got our 4 corners removed, but I wanted to stop here really quick to show you that you could keep these 2 panels connected and it would fold in like that. So it's an extra layer for, you know, your card receiver to open up and kind of be, wow, that's amazing. So I went ahead already and made a card using this extra panel this way, and it's a birthday card. So it opens up like this, and then you can see, oh my gosh, all the layers. It's so much fun to give and make. So I just wanted to show you that you could keep those on there if you wanted, but I'm going to go ahead and remove them. Okay, so we got those 2 outside panels removed, so it should look like this now. Okay, so let me give you all the layers of the designer paper and then also the Whisper White. So now these panels right here, just like the last card, you can make 2 or you can make 4. We're going to make 4, so you would cut your designer paper at 1 5/8 by 3 5/8, and then the Whisper White is cut at 1 3/4 by 3 3/4, and you're going to cut 4 of those of each. And then you're going to cut 3 of your Whisper White. Let me get this one here. So you're going to cut 3 Whisper White, and these are cut at 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. And then 2 of the crisp cantaloupe designer paper. And these are both cut at 3 5/8 by 3 5/8. And then I'm just going to go ahead and decorate the inside panel with a strip of the crisp cantaloupe designer paper, so when it sits in the middle like that. But you don't have to do that either. Alright, so now let's go ahead and grab the Big Shot. Okay, so we're going to use the label collection and the framelits. And we're going to use this larger one. And then I guess it's the number 2, 3, and 4 size in the label collection. Okay, so just like the last card, we're going to take the largest framelit here, between the 3 of them, and we're going to layer this right in the center of your panel, and it should overlap where that score line is. So this one just fits perfectly inside that 4 by 4 square, and you're going to have a little bit inside the score line. Okay, so then you're going to fold your flaps in, and then when we made this card at Club this last weekend, I found that when you just take your acrylic and you just butt it right up to those 2 panels right there, it'll cut perfect. So let's cut that out. Okay, so now see it's still attached. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and cut some designer paper and then Whisper White with these 2 sizes. Okay, so I have a piece of Whisper White and the crisp cantaloupe designer paper. And we're going to cut out 2 with the number 3 size. And then the number 2, we're going to cut out 2 of those with the Whisper White. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and trim off this top flap here. We're just going to cut on the score line. Okay, so then there's your flap. How cute. I love this card. It's so fun. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and stamp. Now I'm using a lot of stamps, only because I want to decorate it, similar to this one here, the sympathy card. But we're going to use just another stamp set instead of the one that I used on the inside here. So let me show you all those stamp sets we're going to use. Using the Papillion Potpourri for the butterfly. Then we're going to use the Flower Shop for this flower right here. Then for the outside we're going to use Wetlands, and it's the Thinking of You. And then for the inside we're going to use the Gifts of Kindness for the greeting inside the card. Okay, so then for the sympathy card on the inside, I used an open heart stamp set, and it was with these 2 right here. Okay, so first we're going to grab our crisp Cantaloupe classic ink, and we're going to stamp 2 butterflies. And then we're going to grab the Flower Shop, the flower. I guess I'm going to make sure I stamp this right to line up with the Pansy Punch. Let me turn this over. I'm going to stamp 2 of these. Okay. And then we're going to grab these 2 punches. This is the Pansy Punch, and it coordinates with the Flower Shop stamp set. I'm just going to punch all these goodies out. And then this is the Elegant Butterfly Punch, matches the Papillion Potpourri stamp set. Okay, so now for the inside, I'm not going to attach this to the card right here where it's going to go until after I stamp it, just because I want to make sure it's kind of centered and not crooked. So what I did is I mounted both of the stamps on the block at the same time. So this one is the Thinking of You. This is for my friend Shannon. She had back surgery last week. So I'm going to send her this card. Okay, so we're going to stamp this right in the center. That looks pretty good. Okay, so now we're just going to go ahead and build our card. So this is going to go on top of the designer paper. This one's going to go on the inside, and then the greeting is going to go in the center. Okay, so now like this card here, I'm going to add designer paper to the bottom of this one, but you could also just keep the designer paper off and have just an extra space to either stamp a greeting or write a message right there. So it's really up to you on how you want to stamp your card. So I'm just going to go ahead and add the 2 panels. And I already put the designer paper onto the Whisper White. Okay, and then I also went ahead and adhered all the little panels. So let me go ahead and add these to the card. So pretty. Isn't that pretty? I love crisp Cantaloupe. And this color is going to be retiring in May. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be so sad when it's gone. Alright, so now we're just going to go ahead and decorate the front. and the inside. I'm just going to go ahead and add the flower right here. I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to add one on the front. Okay, so then I went ahead already and stamped Thinking of You from the Wetland stamp set, and I'm just going to put adhesive on the back. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball how I want this to sit. I guess right about there. And then of course the butterflies get added. I'm ready for spring. I'm so ready for spring. Okay, so we're going to put that one right there. And then this is going to go on the inside over here. And then that strip of designer paper too is going to go on here. Right at the very bottom. Just to kind of bring it all together. So pretty. Okay, so now we're going to add some basic pearls. Got those right here. And I got my paper piercing tool. So I'm going to add a big pearl right in the center of the flower. Oh, and then I want to add some, add a little strip of the butterfly here. Okay, and let's do the same to the front. Okay, and I'm going to trim this off here. See these strips right here, it's one piece. Let me show you. One piece. So somebody had asked me why I'm cutting the pearls. So I'm just cutting them in strips. So I can just use that whole strip for the butterfly. It's like that. So that's how you make that card. Isn't it great? So then it folds up and then this flaps over. Just like that. Okay, so then here's this one. This is the birthday one with the double panels. Cute. And then this is the sympathy one here that we made similar to this one here. But this one's more of a Thinking of You because she just had surgery. Okay, so that's how you make that card. Thanks for stopping by and we'll see you later. Bye.